breach in 5, 4, 3.
What's up, guys? I'm Uncle Freedom, coming to you on a glorious and well-deserved day before I go to work. How's it going? I gotta go to work tonight. It is what it is, but I work all night long, most nights, and that is just where I find myself. Hence my unhealthy obsession and addiction to all things flashlight oriented, right? So for those of you, I've had somebody with a keen-eyed observer that watches these videos notice a blue cord. Look here. No, that's not because I am into braiding paracord, though I can do it. That is actually my infantry cord from when I graduated infantry school like 23 years ago. I'm old, told you guys. So, this month marks kind of a cool thing, and that is the 50th anniversary of Princeton Tech. And for those of you that do not know who Princeton Tech is, I am sorry. Princeton Tech are purveyors of lighting solutions for those people that would find themselves out in the woods or what have you. But I will tell you, there's so much more than that. So I've been a long time user of Princeton Tech headlamps, right? Like that was always my thing. I had a Princeton Tech Bite for most of my military career. Very small. I had a red lens. Red lens came on first. That was a big thing that was super important. And since then, I have migrated into using a lot of Princeton Tech's like better stuff, their newer stuff on my helmets and stuff like that. One that I use all the time right now, this is probably my favorite one that is on the market. This is what's known as the Charge X. Charge X is a fantastic light, right? It's incredibly modular. I can mount this thing on the arc rails on the side of my helmet. I can also mount this on a head strap. I can actually mount this into Molly. It's got this really cool, like, flexible head, does a bunch of other stuff. But my first light is that red lens light, which is awesome, especially if you're doing anything operational where you don't want to like broadcast your position to those around you. This is where it's at. I like these. I use these at work all the time. I have one that is mounted into the shoulder part on my uniform. I dig them, right? So it's come a long way. Like back in the day, we had like a white light, a floodlight, and then we had like a red light. But this version here, I have a red light, a green LED, which if you're under night vision is amazing. And then I also have a blue light, which is fantastic. It also helps if you're tracking by blood or something like that. It makes things like that a lot more visible. There is also a second one. If I hold this guy on, right now you can't see this, but that's on IR. It's pretty cool. So I have a dedicated IR function on this. I have the red, the blue, the green, depending on my situation, whether or not that is going to be useful. And for somebody that said, but there's no bright white light. Yes, there is. You just have to, it's made so it takes a dedicated function to turn that light on, right? If I hold this guy down, I can dim it. I can brighten it all the way back up again to its maximum capability. This is very nice, very bright. I like these though, because even wearing a hat, you know, I can sit here and I can mount this guy onto here, and I am working with my hands in front of my face. Huge fan of everything Princeton Tech has done. I was a subscriber to what Princeton Tech did, and I did some Black Diamond stuff too. Princeton Tech I've been running pretty much exclusively for probably 20 years. I've never been a fan of their handheld lights. I have been a huge fan of their headlamps. And headlamps are one of those things that kind of get a weird rap. If you've never found yourself needing a headlamp, you haven't done enough things. I will tell you right now, there is no tool. Like if you told me on my kit that I could have a task light in addition to my normal light, or I could have a headlamp, I'm taking a headlamp. If I am going hiking or in the woods, it is always a headlamp. I have a bigger flashlight for, you know, like, hey, what was that in the woods kind of moments. But a headlamp is what I spend 95% of my time using. The thing that sold me on the Charge X was the fact that it didn't have to be run off of like 3 AAAs. This runs on a single CR123 with exceptionally good battery life. I can replace the straps. I can do all that. You can get all that from Princeton Tech. So Princeton Tech reached out to me because I was a huge advocate for their lights, and I was a huge advocate for hands-free lighting, especially for guys that are in any kind of an operational environment. If you're on the range, I can't tell you how many times I use that thing just doing low light training because I can see what's in front of me. And somebody's gonna yell, just put your night vision down. Right, dude. If you ever like looked up to see your friend over here and then went back to trying to focus on stuff under dual tubes, I bet you haven't, because you can't see what you're doing over here if you can see that guy. Night vision has a place, but it is not during admin tasks when we're trying to just do things with our hands, like at a range table. So huge fan. Like I said, I use this every day, every night. But Princeton Tech reached out to me and they said, you know what? In celebration of our 50th anniversary, we're going to send guys out some packages. It's a blind open. I have no idea what I have. All I know is I have a box from Princeton Tech. That's all I know. So we're going to find this out together today. This is a video that I am doing so that we may find out. I got that Spyderco Military 2 right there. Love the fact that they fixed this thing and gave it a compression lock. So let's see. But like I said, I'm a huge fan of their lights forever, right? Not everything that they make is going to fit what you need. But I promise you, especially if you're in the outdoor or the tactical space, man, they make a light that fits something you need. That Charge X has been awesome. They also have a Charge Max IR, which is stellar. They have more than one light that's a Max IR. I want to get my hands on one of those pretty bad, because I have the Viz 550. I have one of those too, and it's got the same functions. It has a minor IR feature, which is just useful enough if you're under night vision to kind of light up your immediate workspace. It has the red, the blue, the green for different situations which I could find myself, and then it also has a really good white light. That one, actually, I have it, and it is in my patrol bag at work all the time, no matter what. But they make a Max IR version of both of these that has just got tons of output. Something I am interested in, because they actually come, so your Rhino mount on your helmet, they have an adapter plate that comes with these that you can literally clip that thing into your Rhino mount, which is one of the coolest. Because here's the thing, we all want to believe that we're operator, and that we would never do that because we use night vision. Fact is, I'd be the first to tell you, man, night vision is awesome, but if I can do that job under white light without endangering myself or others, I'm doing that job under white light because it's so much easier. It doesn't look as cool, but it is way easier to do that job. And having one that like fits into my Rhino plate, oh, that thing's awesome. So let's see. Like I said, they were just 50-yearing it up. Asked me if I would partner up with them on this, and I told them I would love to. Because again, I only partner with people that I believe in and trust their products. That's what we got. Princeton Tech, USA made, 50 years, man. Made in 1975. How wild is that, man? There are a lot of companies that will never make it 50 years. These people have been making quality lighting products for... All right, let's see here. Freedom. We are excited to send you one of our exclusive 50-year boxes. We've thrown in some extra gear and swag. Please enjoy. Thank you for your support, and we'd love if you would make a story or a post and tag us when your box arrives. Guess what, guys? I can do that for you today, but I figured we'd also do this on a video. Princeton Tech marketing team. Awesome. Cool. Thank you, guys. Hopefully you see this video. So first things first, man, I'm a hat junkie, if you can't tell. I love hats. Really good, like, ooh, I dig. All right. Oh, we got the Bite Tac in here. So the Bite, I mentioned this, right? The P-Tech Bite. I ran one of these forever. Runs on 2 AAAs, and this is the tactical version of the Bite. How cool is that, man? So 200 lumens on this guy, and what you basically have, like I said before, you have a red light and you have a spotlight, right? So I have a spot high at 200 lumens, a spot low at 50 lumens, a red high, and a red low. I'm looking at 140 hours of runtime on this guy with a red low, and that is freaking awesome. Ooh, I got a whole box of goodies up in here. Got another Charge X up in here. That is gonna be awesome, right? Like I said, that was kind of what we were looking at on there. We get the green, the red, the blue, and the IR plus your white flood in here. This is probably the single best head-worn light I have ever run, and I have tried a ton of different options, but I will tell you, if you're looking for one and you're in the market for one, the Charge series is the best. It's the most adaptable. I can change it to fit any configuration I want. I can mount it on a helmet, I can wear it on my head, I can mount it in Molly, I can mount it on my carrier. It's an awesome freaking light. And just to show you kind of on the back of this guy, that is what we're looking at. That all of that mounting solution comes with this set. Yes, this is the more expensive light, man, but you get what you pay for, and it's solid quality stuff. Let's see. Got a Princeton Tech 50 years card. Our mission is your mission is on the inside of the box. Ooh, I am always a fan of an insulated beer stein, right? Princeton Tech insulated beer stein. I'll take it, man. That's awesome. Looks like we got a fantastical t-shirt. Make sure we got the right size. If not, somebody else may be getting a free t-shirt. All right, we're good. Right size. All right, Princeton Tech. Princeton Tech, that's cool. Let's see. Ooh, stickers, man. I'm a sucker for stickers. Who isn't, right? Oh, dude, these are dope. Right. P-Tech on the stickers. You got a 50-year sticker in here, and I have something else in here. The Viz Tac. Yeah. So we're adding another one to the collection here. So these are pretty badass just because of the mounting solution you see here, right? I can clip this into my helmet. I can clip this into Molly. I can do a lot of stuff. These are super bright though. We're looking at 550 lumens for my spotlight, my main beam. Like, that is exceptional. If you consider back in the day, we'd have been thrilled to have a light that had 120 lumens on it on a job, right? Like if we were doing a hit, man, 60 lumen Surefire was as good as it got. 550 lumens on my head. If you don't have a quality headlamp in your kit, you are wrong. I mean, even to this day, man, if I am going to the field and I have on a plate carrier, there is a pouch right here. That pouch has a headlamp rolled up inside of it because it is so utilitarian and so useful. It makes no sense not to have it. Another great way that you can wear these, depending on how you're doing, is to wear them around the straps of your plate carrier, and it will illuminate what's in your hands. It's really good if you don't want to mount it to your head, but you want a dedicated red lens for like reading papers or something if you're practicing low light discipline. Pretty awesome stuff. And again, we have the spot high, spot low, we have green, we have blue, we have IR, and we have red. And the best part about the Tac lights is your first button click to turn this light on. And this is super important. I don't know who needs to in the back for this. When we run head-worn lights and you are under a low light discipline, right? And I feel like it's important to go down this rabbit hole for a second because I don't think you understand how big of a deal this is. If you are operational at night, for those of you that have never had to do anything where there were actual consequences for your actions in the dark, be quiet and sit down because you don't know. But I will tell you that when you are doing anything operational in the dark, right, that can be military, that can be special operations, that can be standard law enforcement, that can be SWAT and SRT guys, right? You are doing a job that if you inadvertently turn on a bright white light, you will not only damage your night vision, your team's night vision, you will also let the people you are there for know you are outside. And that is a huge problem. And for those of you that say, yeah, but it's not that bright, dude, if I put you on a lake at like 500 yards away and you click on a bright headlamp, I know you're there. I don't have to know what you look like to know you're there. Red light does not transfer that far. And there is a reason, like in the military, like I am old enough to be from the mini mag days, right? Like when the mini mag was the best thing since sliced bread because we were issued that terrible D-celled crook head flashlight with all the filters. When you actually turn on a red light, that light does not transfer very far. People cannot see that at a distance. It doesn't really create shadow that's observable. You know, it does, but it doesn't. You turning on a red lens flashlight, even a high-powered one, maybe not the Hog. The Hog is a different beast. But turning on a good, powerful red lens flashlight is not going to really be observable. And the people that could observe it, if you did not realize they were there, you already had a new problem. Red lens is where to go, even at work, all night long at work. If you guys have ever seen pictures, everything is lit by a red lens light. That is because I do not typically use white lens inside of my truck. Because if you're standing outside of my truck at night, you can't see me by the glow of the red light on the inside through the window tint. But if I turn on that white light, I have just highlighted the target that is me inside of that vehicle. Red lights are ultra freaking important. And for years, the worst problem we had is that if we had a freaking headlamp, the first click we had would turn on this freaking spotlight. And I have paid for more than one white light ND in my life with a copious amount of push-ups and body armor. I have seen things go awry and wrong because of turning on a white light at the time. And IR is kind of the same way, right? If you are facing off against somebody that has IR and you click up IR, I mean, great, but they now know you're there. And that stuff is like holding up a freaking landing light when we do this. So all of P-Tech's tactical stuff is all going to come. Red light is going to be your first click, no matter what. When you click it on, you're going to get a red lens light, and you're going to get that red lens light at the lowest possible output it has. that is such an exceptionally good programming feature that I don't feel like gets harped on enough, but Princeton Tech's been doing it kind of for a minute. They are the standard when it comes to head-worn lights. Fight me, man. There's nobody doing it better than Princeton Tech is doing it right now. I will stand by that 100%. Nobody does it better than Princeton Tech. I would stay tuned though, and I would keep an eye over on my Facebook page, because there is probably a pretty high likelihood at some point I'm going to give away one of these awesome Princeton Tech lights I got today to one of you good people. We'll see. I'll make a decision on which one that is, but I feel like that is the right thing to do at this point, is to put one of these in the hands of one of you good patriots that can, in fact, use it in your day-to-day life. So guys, I am Uncle Freedom. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Go check my friends over at Princeton Tech. No money was paid to do this, by the way. They said they wanted to send me a box because I like their product, and I'm telling you about their product. If you can't tell by my gushing, I like good lighting, and these guys make great lighting. So guys, Uncle Freedom, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and until next time, I'll see you later.